Hey everyone, it's Alana aka Starheart. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing a video on Depop. As a buyer and a seller, I wanted to share my experiences. So I'm going to do some story time, and then I am going to give you some tips at the end in case you want to buy from Depop or sell on Depop, and I hope this really helps you guys. I would first like to make a disclaimer that when I am talking about these situations that have happened to me, I am not trying to slander Depop in any way. I don't think they're like a horrible company or a bad app or anything. What it really comes down to is the people you buy from, the people you sell to, and whoever you're shipping through. So I have usually shipped through USPS, and I'm gonna share those experiences now. If you don't know what Depop is, let me show you. Depop is an app, and basically you can buy and sell new and used items, but it's supposed to be kind of like a thrift store or a garage sale. And you have an account, and then you post your items with how much you want to sell them for and how much the shipping is. You do an item description, and then people can purchase from you, and they leave reviews on you as a buyer, and they leave reviews on you as a seller. But I just wanted to make this video to help you guys out a little bit from my learning experiences. So first I'm going to talk about being a buyer on Depop. This has actually been the least satisfying experience so far. I've only bought two things off of Depop, and here's what happened. So about a couple years ago, I was looking at this Sailor Moon purse, and I found it on Amazon, but it wasn't on Prime, and it was coming from China, and it was gonna take like 3 weeks to ship. And so I thought, well, I'll check it out on Depop. Found the seller on Depop who's selling it for I think $5 less, and she was saying about 2 weeks shipping, like 1 to 2 weeks shipping. So I thought, okay, well, I'll just try the Depop and see how it goes. So I bought it, and the seller, she was really nice. She emailed me straight away saying that she basically gets them through a third party in China, and so the package will be specifically coming from China. And I was like, okay, cool. And she estimated the same shipping time. So about a month later, I still hadn't received my package, and like the day I went on to the app to email her about it, she had emailed me first and said, hey, did you get your package yet? I said, no, I haven't. It's been, kind of a long time. I get that if it's coming from China, it could take a long time, but this is like a really long time. And she was like, I'm so sorry. Let me email the agency that I get them from, who's shipping it to you, and I will see what's going on, if they've shipped it, yes or no. I should turn these lights on. Hang on a sec. Oh, that's better. Okay, so anywho, she supposedly emails that company, that third party that she buys the bags through, and then she emails me back and says, oh yeah, they shipped it out, basically the day after you purchased it, and it should be there any day now. But she didn't have tracking with it. So I was like, okay, I kind of believed her. So then I think it was 2 weeks later, I get the bag in the mail, and I felt very suspicious. So the package it was in was clearly not from China, because it would have just been like some kind of, bland monochromatic package with a return address saying China, right? So the package was the kind of bubble mailer that you get at Walmart or Target or anywhere, that like Scotch one, and it had written all over it really girly handwriting in like hot pink, and the return address was from a US state, which if it's coming from China, why is it coming from the Midwest? And not only that, but there was little fruit stickers all over it, like a really cutesy design. The same fruit that this girl had all over her Depop account. So her theme, her like Depop account theme was like pink and this one fruit, and it looked exactly the same as the package. So with that being said, I don't know, maybe I'm just paranoid, but I felt like you didn't actually get this from a third-party seller who shipped it to me. Like, maybe they shipped it to you and then you forgot to ship it to me, or you had it all along and you forgot to ship it to me. I felt like she lied to me. I don't know, again, maybe I'm just being paranoid, but I felt like she wasn't being honest about it, and it was giving her an excuse to ship it to me like really, really late. I don't know. So the item, when I opened it, it was exactly what I ordered, but it was like, had a scratch on it and had a scratch on the little gold moon, and I was kind of like, really? I paid, you know, the money for it, and I waited for a really long time, like 6 weeks for this bag, and then it's not even in decent condition. So I did email her about that, and it all worked out. I have the bag. I've used the bag a million times. I loved it. But I just thought that was really kind of weird and suspicious. I honestly feel like she just forgot to send me my package and was trying to blame it on a third-party sale in China, or she just intentionally didn't send it to me, and I don't know. I don't know. Tell me in the comments, what do you guys think happened? Am I just paranoid, or do you think that she was trying to get away with something here? The second time I've ever bought from Depop was 8 weeks ago, and I still haven't received the freaking item yet. 8 weeks ago. It's a book. It's a book by Rupi Kaur, The Sun and Her Flowers. I can't wait to read it. I still haven't received it. Basically, I purchased it and I just had this kind of like weird feeling. So I immediately emailed the seller and I said, I would just like to verify my address, that you have my correct address. So she verified it. She's like, yeah, it is. She sent it out, and then about 2 weeks later, she emailed me saying, oh, hey, the book got sent back to me, so I don't know what's wrong. And I said, well, can you please send me a picture of the address that you mailed it to me so I can make sure that you actually mailed it to the right address. I don't know, I just had a weird feeling about the whole address thing. So she didn't do that, but she did say, oh no, I went and talked to the post office and we figured out what was wrong. And I'm thinking like, well then what was wrong? Why don't you just tell me what's wrong? But I don't know, maybe who knows? Maybe she's embarrassed, she just doesn't want to tell me. So then she shipped it out immediately, supposedly, and after 2 weeks, I emailed her again saying, did it get sent back to you again? Because I don't have the book, and like it's been 4 weeks now, and she keeps saying like, no, it hasn't been sent back to me. I don't know what the problem is. So about a week and a half ago, she said she went to the post office and like filed a claim or whatever that the package was lost. I don't know if she really did this, but to be honest, I'm ready to just ask her to refund me my money. I think waiting 8 weeks for a book is ridiculous, especially when it's not coming from some far off place. It's coming from like a few states away. So yeah, I don't get it. To be honest, I don't know if I will ever buy from Depop again. Maybe in the future I will, third time's a charm, but as far as right now, I'm just kind of like, I really don't like the experiences that I've had. I really appreciate though that the sellers do communicate with you pretty well. They reply back right away, but I do feel that there was some strange-ities involved in my last 2 purchases, and yeah, I still would really like to read that book. Bet it's a good book. Alright, so now I will be moving on to my seller portion. So I've sold, ooh, let me look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've sold 10 things on Depop as of this year, as of 2018, and everything so far has gone well except for the very last transaction, and I think that some of this, or most of this, is my fault, and so I have taken this as a learning opportunity. So this girl, she's very nice. By the way, I have nothing against this girl, like nothing against her at all. She bought a pair of really cool earrings from me, and this was on a Sunday afternoon that she bought them. So I immediately put it in an envelope, verified the address, and I just ran it down to the drop-off post office thing. And I thought, okay, it's Sunday, so tomorrow it'll go out. So a couple hours after she had purchased it and I'd already put it in the mail, she emailed me saying, can you send this out as soon as possible because I'm going to be moving in 2 weeks and I need to make sure it gets to me before I move. Okay, I don't really think that was very wise to demand it gets to you immediately, but it doesn't matter. We'll move on from there. So I said, yes, I've already put it out into the mail slot and it's gonna ship out tomorrow. So she emailed me a few days later and was very impatient, where is it? I don't have it. It should have been here by now. I'm moving. It has to be here now, and if it doesn't get to me, I'm gonna have to open a claim with Depop. I was like, okay, I totally understand. Thought she was being slightly impatient, but I completely understand because she was moving and she wanted the item. She didn't want it to get lost in the mail or lost in transition. And she emailed me, I think 2 or 3 times about it, and basically just saying immediately I need to file a claim because it's not here yet. So then we had this conversation where she was like, okay, if it's not here by this date, then I will file a claim. And I was like, I get it. You do what you gotta do. You know, I won't take anything personally. I will refund you your money if it doesn't get to you in time. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm thinking well, you're not giving the mail, USPS, very much time to get it to you. You're kind of demanding it immediately. So today I woke up and she had emailed me saying that she finally received it, but it was not in good condition. It got destroyed, and USPS put it in a baggie saying oops, sorry, your shit's messed up. It's very obvious that someone took the envelope and shredded it and stole the earrings out. So she was really nice about it, but she was like, okay, bad news for both of us. The earrings are missing. I'm really disappointed and I want my money back. So I was like, yeah, I'm so sorry. I mean, I do honestly feel really, really terrible because if that was me, I'd be pissed. I'd be super pissed that I spent $10 on some earrings and they're not here yet. So we had a conversation about me refunding her money, and I apologized so many times because I honestly do feel really, really bad about what happened. So that so far has been my only bad experience being a seller. But it still is a bad enough experience, and she may just be like, okay, oh well, shit happens, or she might leave a horrible review on my website just trashing me. I have no idea. So yeah, those have been my experiences. But 9 good experiences selling out of 10 is pretty good. 2 bad experiences buying out of 2 is not good. Let me give you my tips for being a buyer. So if you go on Depop and you want to buy something, here's what I suggest that you do. Number 1, don't expect your stuff to show up overnight. It's not going to, especially if it's on USPS. I've got nothing against the post office, but they take a really long time. Like over Christmas, my friend sent me a greeting card, and it took 2 months to get to me. So sometimes shit happens, and the post office or FedEx, whoever you're doing it from, is gonna take a really long time, and there's not a whole lot you can do about that. So be patient, just be patient. Know that it could take 6 weeks to get your item. Even if it's a small item or a not heavy item, it still could take a really long time. And there's not a whole lot that the seller can do about that. Number 2, before you buy something, email that seller and ask them if there's a tracking number, if they automatically have a tracking number with the item. If they say no, ask them if they're willing to accommodate and get a tracking number. Typically a tracking number costs, I think it's $1.50 or $1.05. So if they're willing to accommodate you, they might have to, you know, add that onto the price of shipping, but I think it's totally worth it to get a tracking number. Basically, if you really want your stuff to get there, you might have to pay a little bit more and work with this person a little bit more to ensure your stuff gets there. If they're not willing to put a tracking number on it, then you really need to assess, how important is this item to me? Do I want to just hope that it shows up, or am I willing to go through the process of like asking for a refund or waiting, you know, 8 weeks for a book to show up? So just kind of decide what's more important to you. Are you willing to take a risk on it, or are you willing to put in more effort and a little bit more money to guarantee that item shows up? Also, if you want your stuff to show up like next week or within 2 weeks, ask the seller if they're willing to go to the post office and ensure that it is within the 3 to 4 day shipping. If you need that item to show up in a certain amount of time, email the seller before you buy it and ask them if they're willing to accommodate you to ensure that it shows up faster. And again, that might cost a little bit more money, but if it's really important to you, then it might be worth going through that effort and paying a little bit more money. And the next tip I have for you is, if you're moving and you're gonna be moving within a month or even 2 months, don't buy the item and expect that it's gonna show up tomorrow. It probably won't. So if you are moving, what I would do is I would just hold off and wait till you move and then buy the item. If you're really just, you have to have this item, you are not willing to risk someone else buying it, what I would do is I would contact the seller and ask them if they would be willing to reserve it or hold it for you until a certain date, and then give them your new address. But I think that even with my previous issue, I think that we both learned a lesson that I should have taken much better care of the item I was shipping out, and I think that she should not have put herself in the situation to stress out over her getting an item in time to move. I just don't think she allowed herself enough time. I just realized I'm wearing my shirt backwards. Alright, so now I'm gonna give you my tips for being a seller, which I think is more complicated, but it can be really rewarding if you want to sell your stuff. Number 1 thing that you've just got to do is you need to be really critical of your items. If you're selling a shirt, even if you're selling it for $1, $2, $3, you need to look at every little tiny inch of the shirt, and if you find any stain or any like tiny little hole or any tiny tear or any like thing where the thread is coming out or a bleach stain or anything, you need to make a note of it in the description, and you also need to show a photo of it. Just always make note of the exact condition that the item is in. Number 2, and this is from personal experience, don't worry about your item having the cheapest shipping ever. Do what you can to ensure the item gets to the person who bought it and gets there in good condition. So, for example, with my earring story I told you all about, I should have wrapped up those earrings before I put them in an envelope. And I should have had a tracking number. It was really stupid of me not to have a tracking number, and I learned from that mistake. So yeah, always have a tracking number. Always make sure that your stuff is wrapped really, really well, and it wouldn't hurt to put some like extra tape on it, extra bubble wrap, whatever it is. So if obviously when you do that, you need to charge a little bit more money so that you're not like spending tons of money on shipping supplies that, you know, are coming from like your personal budget. But just do what you can to ensure that the item gets to the person in good condition. As you guys saw, if I had done a better job at wrapping it up, I don't think someone would have been able to just rip open that envelope and steal the earrings. It was really crappy. Number 3 suggestion I have as a seller, and again from personal experience, when you put a return address on the envelope or the package, I highly, highly suggest do not write anything like so-and-so store or the such and such shop or Depop seller, because I did that. I wrote Depop seller, and I think whoever stole the envelope was like, oh, I know this is someone's cool stuff that they bought on Depop, I'm gonna steal it. If I had just had my name and my address, I don't think someone would have looked at it and said, oh, this is like valuable stuff. I think they would have just been like, eh. So my last tip, and this is also really important and also from a learning experience for me, is always have money in your PayPal account in case you need to refund someone for what they paid you. The reason why I say this is because Depop is linked to PayPal, and PayPal is linked to your debit account or your credit card. What happened was, when I needed to refund that girl, I went on to PayPal and I started doing the refund. Well, I didn't have money in my PayPal account. I had transferred all my money out of PayPal into my debit account so that I could pay on credit cards and other debt. I thought issuing a refund, PayPal would just grab money out of my account and throw it back to that girl, but no, they were like, you don't have any money in this account. So what I had to do was I had to request money from my bank to PayPal, and this is easy except for one thing. What PayPal does is they say, well, we need to verify that this is your bank account. Even though it's already set up, it's already verified, it's been linked on there for years, they still wanted to verify that I could actually take the money from my account into PayPal. So what PayPal has done is they put 2 small deposits into my bank account. Then I had to go onto my bank account, find the exact amount of those deposits, and go onto PayPal and type in the exact amount of those deposits for them to say, oh yes, this is the right bank account. Okay, now you can refund that girl her money. And that takes forever. It was like hours and hours and hours before my bank account was showing that PayPal made 2 small deposits. All the meanwhile, this poor girl who doesn't have her earrings, who got her earrings shredded out of an envelope, this poor girl doesn't even have her refund yet. And I'm over here like, oh crap, I gotta refund her money. Technology takes forever. So yes, always have enough money into your PayPal account just in case you need to refund that item. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that my review and these tips helped you if you want to buy or sell from Depop. So thank you again for watching. You guys have a beautiful day. Bye.